IWC. Now as you sit there, hopefully as uncomfortable as possible, that the WWE is going to Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions. There's been a lot of pipe bombs and bombs dropped lately. Ringside Renaissance and Hitting the Turnbuckle is here to bring you our predictions. So Jesse, Adam, ring the bell.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
And we're back for another episode of Ringside Renaissance. And we're here with a very special episode for WWE Night of Champions and giving our predictions. And of course, I'm here with the best co-host, the best tag team partner, the best friend in the world, Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Yeah, and we're here with a very, very special guest from Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast, Adam Cousins.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on one more time. It's been too long. Been way too long.
What's up, Adam?
It's been way too long, guys. Way too long.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the time difference really messes with us. You know, you guys are 36 hours ahead of us. But it's great to see you. It's great to have Adam on. If anybody hasn't checked out Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast, Adam Cousins is at the forefront of that. He really kind of encouraged us and pushed us forward when we first started as a podcast, had us on his show, had me on for an interview with Vince Russo at one time. He's been on our show before. Great guy, great podcast. Go check it out. Hitting the Turnbuckle on YouTube and on X and Instagram. Beautiful day, beautiful week for pro wrestling, man. I since we haven't talked in a while, like, you know, the great thing about Ringside Renaissance is we're all off the cuff. We are all one take. We don't just clip together pieces and parts and then 1 second a guy doesn't have a headset on, the next he does. But I do have to ask you, Adam, from across the pond, as of right now in pro wrestling, what is your favorite, or maybe England in general, their favorite pro wrestling company right now? Is it AEW? Is it WWE? Is it New Japan? Is it Rev Pro? What is your favorite promotion currently?
If you look at the ratings in England, the ratings would say AEW. They're 47% up on Dynamite, 38% up on Collision year on year.
Holy shit.
But me personally, I'm still WWE. But you forgot a promotion over here in the UK called Ignite. That's the favorite promotion, right? Because
I was waiting
do
for you
y'all
to
watch
say that.
Netflix in the UK when Bridgerton's not popping?
What's Bridgerton? I've never heard of that in my life.
Okay.
The only thing on Netflix that I watch is WWE. That is
Okay.
They got us by the nuts too, because I was thinking about canceling my Netflix until they announced they were going over, and they jacked the price up right after. So they really got us there. But yeah, so we've had quite a week in pro wrestling leading up to Night of Champions, and then we have Saturday night's main event coming after that. We're not going to talk about predictions of Saturday night's main event, but before we get into Night of Champions, the big thing that everybody's talking about as far as WWE's going forward past Night of Champions is the WWE's Saturday night's main event. Last Monday night, we did have the return of Goldberg to confront the Ring General, Gunther. Then, as of this recording this past Monday, we had Gunther come out and kind of rebuttal, to which I am over. As a Gunther fan, he sold me on that. The crowd was behind him. You could hear the crowd chanting for him, cheering for him, and he was trying to be that ruthless heel, but the crowd is behind Gunther on this. Adam, I know you've told me before you had some thoughts on this whole Gunther-Goldberg thing, and I did want to hear this before we move forward with Night of Champions.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I have to credit my good friend Matthew Edgar, who's a professional dart player over here in England. We was recording something for his podcast, Worldwide Wrestling UK, and he made at a point that blew me away because I didn't know. And it was that Vince McMahon still has one piece of history in the WWE that is yet to be erased, and that he was the oldest heavyweight champion at 54 when he beat Triple H in 1999. And in a couple of weeks' time, Goldberg at 58 has an opportunity to erase Vince from the WWE history
to be the oldest champion.
To be the oldest champion in WWE.
Ooh,
so
that's scary.
Yeah, it's a scary thought, right? So it depends on whether, I mean, they could do that and he could retire after that and just, the belt could just be vacated. And that would set up another idea for WWE to bring out a sponsored title to go with the Slim Jim tables and ladders and God knows what else they're going to be sponsoring. Or it gives an opportunity for an early cash in, although I don't see that happening from Seth Rollins at that point. But yeah, that was an option that kind of triggered me when he said that about, well, what a way to get Vince out of the erased from the WWE history books.
Well, screw a spear or what's his other move? The jackhammer?
Jackhammer.
Joey doesn't want to do that.
Jackhammer. All he's going to need to do to beat Gunther is hit him with a super kick to the face. Then he can take him out just like he took out Bret Hart. Then he's got the record. Yeah,
and we've learned from that. That's an intriguing prediction. I don't know if they're going to take the belt right off Gunther right away again, but also we know in the past with WWE they have a way of erasing people from history without having to. We're talking about the guy that shall not be named.
Shall not be named.
He was also known as a rabid Wolverine, but
hey QR Kev, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
But yeah, that is quite interesting. It's quite intriguing.
Yeah.
Now, but
talk
it's
about
in Atlanta,
history.
right? Saturday night's main event is in Atlanta. I would think that Goldberg would want his last match in his hometown. So
his adopted hometown.
Oh, okay. Well,
come on. Does anybody even root for you in Atlanta? Do people Goldberg's own? Let's bring him out to the game to throw the first pitch.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure that's their first go-to.
Could you imagine him throwing out a pitch at the Atlanta Braves game and he busts his head on the locker or the dugout before he comes out and he's bleeding everywhere? And
now I'm not an Atlanta native, but Goldberg just doesn't look like he's from Atlanta either.
No. He looks like he's more from Atlanta. Hometown.
Yeah. Shout out Dante in College Park.
Yeah. It looks like he's drank a bunch of tall boy natty daddies and slung a couple phrases around that aren't acceptable anymore.
He looks like he's one blanket away from walking the town.
If you know, you know. That's an inside joke, Adam. But also we only had a couple things like Becky and Bayley fought for the women's Intercontinental title. Lyra Valkyria got interfered with that match, caused the disqualification, and I don't know what's moving forward with that. So there are some interesting things going forward with that. I think maybe Night of Champions, Saturday night's main event might be they revisit that. But man, Night of Champions coming up, and there's only 2 titles on the line at Night of Champions this year, which is very interesting. Choice for a name. I like how the match in Saudi Arabia last year was King and Queen of the Ring, but this year they had to call it Night of Champions. Very interesting choice of titles there. But
yeah, well, I've been waiting for a week for this shit, honestly, because you won't give me nothing. You won't give me nothing to go off of. I've been messaging you every day, steady, and you've been ghosting me, Jesse. About all this. Okay. About this. You talked about a race in history with Goldberg and Gunther. Kind of like I'm talking about and getting rid of Vince. The man that will not be named because he shits on people. But allegedly.
I can't wait until tell you because I've been telling Combat Jones off camera that there was an interesting theory that I heard. Yeah. With different stuff, and I'm going to get into that, but I'm not going to tell you that right now. We're going to wait till we get to that match to tell you.
Oh, Lord.
But Night of Champions does take place during the day for us. It's not at night, but in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I know a lot of people were worried about the talent going over there.
Yeah.
It seems safe enough that they're going to go. They're getting paid enough money to go. At this point, if you gave me $15,000 in a hoagie from Subway, I would probably go, Well, we got 6 matches on this card as of right now, which is really interesting. They broke the 5 match formula that they've been using for very long. And every match, to me, almost every match on the card is pretty solid. The first match I'm going to bring up, which this is the only match I'm not too crazy about, is the street fight between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't feel that it's necessarily needed. And I'm just going to give my thoughts on it. I'm going to turn it over to Adam after. But like Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, that just opens the door for Roxanne Perez to come in and interfere. WWE's had this formula lately where like every match has got to have an outside interference or a run-in or a schmoz of some sort. So in respect to these two competitors who are pretty decent in the ring and stuff, I'm just not feeling the match. I feel like Rhea Ripley is going to get the upper hand, but Roxanne Perez is going to interfere, cost Rhea Ripley the match, and then it's going to be Roxanne. Yes, Roxanne and Raquel are going to be friends and kind of leave Liv Morgan out in the dust with her injury. So I'm going to say Raquel Rodriguez is going to win this match. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, you kind of hit a nail on the head, really, with that. I think that Roxanne definitely will get involved. And I think from what I've heard is they're going to run with her and Raquel as tag champs until Liv gets back. And then they're going to do the whole split with Dom and Finn, and because obviously Dom's injured as well. Much like you, though, Jesse, I'm not that keen on this. I feel as if it was just thrown together because of the injury, rather than maybe it may have been Liv and, I don't know, Rhea, if it wasn't that way. But it is what it is. And to be honest, I'm glad that if they're going to get it anywhere, the Saudis can have it, because they seem to be getting all the good stuff recently. So it's about time they had a match that no one gave a shit about.
Right.
Yeah. I know the Rhea Riptide fans are going to be upset that they can't see any of her tattoos this weekend. But
oh yeah, she's going to have to be done up, isn't she?
Oh yeah. Well, allegedly things are moving ahead over in the Middle East, and things are progressing. So we'll see if we get a little more skiing.
Okay.
I doubt we'll be seeing any. I doubt we'll be seeing any bra and panties matches over there anytime soon.
I was going to say, do you have any spoilers? Do you have any inside tracks? Combat Jones, do you actually have a bombshell to drop about what's going on over there?
I think they're going to be fine. You know, with all the pipe bombs and bombs that have been dropped, I think we're safe. I think we hit the pipe bombs hit with absolute precision. They don't miss.
The best.
They never miss our targets. They're the best. The best pipe bombs ever. Best in the world. You know. Yes. So, yeah.
Who do you got for match number 1, Kombat?
I'm going to go opposite way, and I'm going to pick Rhea, because I think Raquel got the better of her, putting Rhea through the table. And maybe, Roxanne, she's got to get involved some type of way or other, I suppose. Maybe. And I still do think going forward, it's got to be Roxanne and Raquel to take them titles and kind of carry them on when my girl Liv is sadly out. The best women's champion in a while, and the best women's tag champion of all time, unfortunately, Liv Morgan. I know you agree with me there, Adam. You know, we're still thinking about those coochie cutter booty shorts from a year ago almost now, but I'm going with Rhea. I think they're going to give the people what they want. They gotta give them a little bit of what they want. So,
I know if the Middle East wants some biological weapons, they just have to take sample tracings from those coochie cutters, because there's probably some real probably cause a lot of issues with those.
They should just send Liv over with them coochie cutters on, and then she would solve all the problems of the Middle East. Yes,
or cause more.
Power in this direction.
Next up, we have the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. Does he love Solo Sikoa? Is Solo Sikoa going to take and finally win his first singles championship on the main roster in WWE? I gotta say right now, I've been a big Solo Sikoa fan. Like, it took a little while to grow on me, but I really like the work that Solo Sikoa is doing. He's just... I just think it's just overall really well. I mean, the Bloodline storyline's pretty much nixed at this point, and but he's kind of, out of all of them, he's the one that's kind of kept my interest peaked the most. Him and Jacob, this whole feud that's been brewing and stuff like that. The Jey Uso stuff was like, Yeet Mania was great. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be found. Solo Sikoa is kind of riding the wave with this bloodline Anawai family thing. But is this Jacob's Fatu's time to lose the title, or is Solo Sikoa going to fall to the Samoan Werewolf, Adam?
I don't know. I think it's maybe too early. I thought this match was a shoe-in for SummerSlam, but maybe not. But you've also got to add to the fact that Hikuleo should be making his debut this week, or maybe even Night of Champions. So I don't know what side he's going to fall on. To. He's been doing main event for the last couple of weeks. I suppose just to get there, because he's been out. He signed like a year ago. So it's been like a year that he's been sitting in catering, near enough. So I'm guessing that it was dusting off the ring rust. So yeah, I kind of feel it's too early for Jacob to lose it. So I'll stick my neck out and go Jacob. But I do agree, Solo Sikoa's work now is probably doing his best work since he's come into the WWE.
Okay. Now, you think if Hikuleo got involved, whose side is he on?
That's the question, isn't it? That is it. I would assume he could even up. I mean, I know Jimmy Uso kind of evened it up last week, didn't he, with Jacob? Right. So I suppose I would imagine Solo. To be fair, I would have thought that they would have an advantage, a 3-2 advantage, and that may even then bring Jay back into the fold for a little bit, because he's doing nothing now since what's happened on Raw. And they're looking at bringing the Usos back together for a match with New Day for the titles at some point. So we're going to have that. So I'm guessing that New Day retain next Monday. So I would imagine if Hikuleo comes in, he will join Solo, but I still think Jacob wins somehow. Maybe he comes in at the end of the match and attacks him. Or on SmackDown, we'll have to see.
Wow. Could that potentially be like a SummerSlam tag team, the Usos versus the New Day for the championship?
Could be.
Wow.
Or Jay's got to have his end. Yeah, but Jay's got to have like.
They'll come out.
Jimmy and Jay could come out together. They could both.
It's 2 nights, and there's 2 nights, so they could have 2 different things going on. Mm-hmm. You know.
You're just hoping, because our very own Kombat Jones is going to be in attendance at SummerSlam
exactly.
this year. So,
yeah, I'm gonna be eating one way or another. Yeah,
yeah. Before and after the show.
Exactly. Yes, both shows. Shit. I'm gonna go with Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf. Especially because Jimmy got involved. So I think if Jimmy wasn't involved, they could have put the belt on Solo, and they could kind of maybe go back and forth, and they can fight it out till SummerSlam. But it seems like with Jimmy getting involved, it kind of evens the odds. But if what you're saying is true about Hikuleo, he could be the odd man out, you know, or be that extra person to come in and make Solo win. And they very well could go to SummerSlam with Solo as the champion and Jacob fights him there, or they do some type of, you know,
DQ finish,
3-way.
Yeah, because I don't see Hikuleo coming and helping Jacob Fatu. Usually someone interferes and helps the heel, you know. So I gotta say, Hikuleo, Big Jim, the Yeet Man, Solo. I don't care about any of this. What I care about is where the hell is Tongaloa? Like, where is Tongaloa? Because he's going to be the X factor in this whole thing. His chops. He's going to. Okada's still feeling those. He hasn't had a great performance since. But
what is up with all with the Samoans running the industry?
They always have. But I gotta say, I don't think it's Jacob Fatu's time to lose the title. It would be nice to see him chase Solo and win it back at SummerSlam. It'd be a feel-good moment, but you would have to have Jacob eat a pin, and I don't think he's lost a Solo's match yet. So,
boy,
that'd be tough. But if they're going to do it,
he's not going to lose clean. He would not lose clean. There's no way in hell. Yeah, to Solo. Yeah.
So just to kind of be different, go against my original thoughts. Like I'll say that something happens somewhere
DQ?
where Solo Sikoa wins the match, wins the title. He gets his first singles title, and then Jacob's chasing till SummerSlam, because it'd be a big moment for Jacob to win in a stadium show, win the title back, conquer Solo.
Right.
Tongaloa comes back to help him. Book it, Trips. Now, if you've been watching our show and you've been following us on social media, we've been probably two of the biggest proponents of Karrion Kross for the better part of a year now.
Yeah.
We've followed him, we've supported him, we've wanted him, we've shouted from the rooftops. I know there's a big push Karrion Kross movement, but Kombat Jones and I have been been behind this for quite a while now. We finally got it. We finally got it.
Double-handedly started it ourselves.
We double-handedly started it. So,
yes.
We finally got it. This past week on Raw, we saw that he poked Sami Zayn one too many times, and Sami Zayn hit him and said he talked to Adam Pearce. There is a match. It ends up being at Night of Champions. We don't even just get Karrion Kross on Raw. Oh no, we get him on a PLE. His first match, his first televised match since he fought AJ Styles right before WrestleMania, I believe. And I'm so excited for this. Sami Zayn is also one of my favorites. I'm over the moon that really the lights could go out and they could cancel the rest of the show because of a power outage or something. And I would still be happy just to see these two in the ring. But I got to know, the burning question is who is going to walk away with this match?
That's a tough one. I want Karrion Kross because a bit like you guys, I've been a supporter of him for a long, long time. He was totally messed up by Vince the first day he come in the main roster. I think he lost to Jeff Hardy in like 5 seconds. And that absolutely killed him. And he's so much better than what they've been showing. I would like to see him win, but I just have more of a political thing that Sami will win on this occasion. But I still don't think am I right in thinking he's in his contract year, Karrion Kross?
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly,
allegedly he's in contract year. So
he is. Yeah.
Then you does throw up options as well as whether he stays in the WWE or thinks perhaps he's better off in a. I wouldn't see him in like an AEW. I could easily see him in TNA. As back as Killer Kross in TNA with Scarlett with him by his side. But yeah, in answer to your question, Sami wins it for me, but I don't want him to.
Okay. Oh, I'm going Karrion Kross, baby. Karrion Killer Kross. He's gonna win. And he's gonna do some crazy shit, piss everybody off in Saudi, and yeah.
Now, that's the whole thing because I've been saying because the Royal Rumble's in Saudi next year that Sami's going to win the Rumble and go to WrestleMania. But man,
it continues her story. If Sami wins, he kind of puts all that to bed to a certain extent, and he can just move on past Karrion Kross, which makes sense that they want Sami to win in Saudi Arabia. You know, we all know why, but you know. And they can get some if they want some too.
That's an interesting point you bring up because it'll continue the story. I don't think this ends here. So
right.
It would make more sense for Karrion Kross to win this match.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
What a good promo too. Him getting Sami really smacked one on him too backstage. He really gave him that one piece. Yeah.
Masterclass character work from Karrion Kross grabbing his face and then laughing and looking at Scarlett and just saying, I got him. Like, I got it. Like, I finally got under his skin. I've been trying for months. And I finally did it. I finally got there. Now, if you don't, on X, there is an account called AEW Mole. I don't know if this is a real AEW Mole or if it's just a troll account or anything, but they did repost our post about this match and said it would be interesting if down the line there was a Sami and Karrion tag team and they won the tag team titles. Like they got a respect out of this and became a tag team, which I didn't think that would be like something I'd be interested in until I read it. And then
I didn't think about it. Yeah.
So
that's a good idea though.
But who am I going to side with? Adam or Kombat Jones? Man. It doesn't have to be a debate. You already know who pulls my strings. Karrion Kross pulls off the win. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. That hourglass just got flipped. The time is now. Karrion Kross for the win.
Yeah.
I'm just willing it. I gotta will it into existence because otherwise it's not going to happen.
He's got a new T-shirt too. He's got new merch. Really? I said he does have new merch, yes. And I said I'm over the whole merch thing right now. I'm gonna stay on that, stay true to my word, but I do want it. And I hope that sells out too, and I hope it goes right to the top.
The Queen of the Ring. These would be our main events we talk about because it is Night of Champions, not King and Queen of the Ring. We'll talk about the King and Queen of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring finals first. Now, the winner of this match receives both of these matches gets a title match at SummerSlam. So I thought it was at any point, but it was confirmed that it's SummerSlam. But the Queen of the Ring, we have the returning Asuka, who's been on the tear since she came back, versus Jade Cargill. This one's tough for me.
Me too.
I'm a huge Asuka fan. Jade Cargill, I think she's going to be the next big thing, but I don't quite think she's there yet.
Right.
You guys need to sway my vote here because I'm torn on it. Adam, I need to hear your opinion on it first.
Well, first off, I agree with what you're saying. It's kind of nut cutting time for Jade Cargill. Like, I feel as if she's been in WWE long enough now, but I don't see enough there yet to say that she's world championship material, which gets me to believe that she does beat Asuka at Night of Champions. She does win the championship at SummerSlam, but Naomi cashes in straight away and takes it away from her. That's what I see. So for me, for that reason, Jade has to win. But I would prefer, it would make more sense for Asuka, but I'm going with Jade just because of that prediction for SummerSlam.
Wow. I like it. That's kind of like, you root for who you want to win or who do you think is going to win. Mm-hmm. And who do I think is going to win? It's going to be Asuka. Even though it seems like kind of too obvious, like they're giving it to her because she's coming right back. It's like almost too obvious, but at the same time, her versus Io Sky makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yes, it does, Kombat Jones.
Yes.
Good take on that one.
Yeah, so at SummerSlam, so I can see that happening. But Jade, too, I love how Adam broke it down with Jade winning and then going to SummerSlam for the championship. Now, who would she be facing at SummerSlam for the championship? Tiffany Stratton. Okay. Yeah. That's an interesting matchup to build with, honestly. And where's Bianca Belair during all of this too?
She's still injured, isn't she?
She injured?
Yeah, she's been injured for a while now.
Okay, so she's not going to have any part in it. And could Naomi interfere in this match? Could Roxanne Perez come and interfere because she just lost to Jade? In some type of way with something. But I kind of want Jade to win, and I want that to happen. But it seemed like the obvious thing to do because Asuka just came back, even though it's almost like too obvious for both of them to win. It's hard to pick. It's a hard one. It's a throw up. I'm gonna go Asuka because I feel like it's the safe thing for them to do, to go her versus Io Sky at SummerSlam, and it's a natural build, and they have that rivalry. Well, they were in the same group somewhat, right? And they can have their chemistry will be there. They will have a great match. I really believe they can put on a hell of a match.
But I'm going to say, just like Kombat Jones said, and just like Kombat Jones is when Jade Cargill's on TV, this is a hard one. But
yeah,
at this point, I'm going to have to, I'm siding with Adam on.
Yeah.
I'm siding with Adam at this point because I do like the idea of Jade Cargill winning the championship and then losing it right away. Naomi cashing it in. The story's there with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I do still think it's going to be Asuka and Io at SummerSlam. I think they're still going to find an avenue to get to Asuka and Io at SummerSlam, but I don't think it's going to be by way of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Because Asuka and Io kind of had that little backstage interaction on Raw. So I think that is the end game there. But the story kind of plays itself better if Jade Cargill does win Queen of the Ring. It gives her some merit. It kind of puts a little feather in her cap, so to speak, moving forward. And I think she needs some of that, especially coming off WrestleMania and kind of floundering around since then. So it makes sense for her, Jade Cargill, to win the Queen of the Ring. A storm is coming and is in the shape of a queen. The King of the Ring. This is the match everybody wanted, right? The mentor versus the mentee, I guess. The Jedi and the Padawan.
Right.
The old grizzled veteran versus the next big thing. Everybody thought this was going to be a match that happened while Cody had the title, Randy coming after the title, because the subtle little glances and glares that Randy Orton gave while Cody had the title. But for the King of the Ring tournament and for a championship match at SummerSlam, it will be the American Nightmare Cody versus the 3 most deadly letters in sports entertainment, RKO, Randy Orton. And it's very simple, easy for me. Cody Rhodes wins this, goes to SummerSlam, and that's when he's going to get the title back from John Cena.
Yeah.
Combat Jones, prove me wrong.
Oh, yeah. Cody Rhodes. Gotta win. Only makes sense. Oh.
It would be cool to see Randy Orton win a King of the Ring this late in his career, though.
Yeah. King Cody. Yeah.
Adam,
yeah.
I know you're... go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting with Cody Rhodes winning. Then where does that leave Randy? Does that leave him kind of bitter, even more bitter, you know? Because we got a lot of matches that are kind of like mutual respect matches to a certain extent going on and things we're leading to. So it's, I'm not looking forward to it. It is what it is. No, I just think it's kind of predictable. It's because Cody's going to win. I don't see Randy doing it and then going to SummerSlam unless he's going to go against Cena or whoever the hell he's going against. It looks like we're going for Cena and Cody, or Cody and Punk. But Cody recently was talking at the Fanatics Fest about turning heel. Somebody had asked him the question, and he said he can see it happening kind of in the future. He said it could be, a few years away, it depending how it goes. But he would like for the story to progress, and it only makes sense for it to kind of get to that point sooner or later. So he kind of alluded to it. So down the line, we'll see. But there's got to be something to make it interesting between Cody and Randy. There's got to be something happen, or have Randy lose it at the end or something too, or. We got a lot of good guys right now, so
Adam,
that's my take
think?
on it.
I think Adam's going to pick Randy Orton here, but I want to hear his take.
Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not going to. I think there's no.
I've said that to a lot of women in my life.
You to get that response as well. Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah.
But no, it's Cody, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing. The build would have been great for him and Randy. I just don't think a one-off match. Really, if it was a title match or something like that, then like you pointed out when he was champion, I just don't agree that he beat Cena at SummerSlam. My thing is Cena does walk away at the end of the year with the heavyweight championship.
Ooh,
okay.
Which brings into my point about the sponsored thing before, when WWE, they're now looking at sponsors and stuff like that, and they will return with a championship potentially that's, because Cena will go as the last real world champion, takes that belt with him. And then you kind of usher in that Netflix era, although a little bit late, but there will be like a brand spanking new title, which may be sponsored by a company or something like that.
On Netflix, the Netflix champion.
Could be. Something like that.
But we know AEW would do it.
The Tiger King Championship.
Yeah, we already know that would be done. Yeah, they would have already cashed in on that a long time ago. But yeah, Cody getting there was good. I thought Cody versus Jay was actually a pretty good match. Yeah. I like the endings and stuff with it, and of course they had their mutual respect too and all that. But Cody versus Jay was good to get there.
Yeah.
But,
and Randy and Sami was really good too. I mean,
Randy
solid matches all the way around. I don't like the Fatal 4-Ways, but the singles matches. Roxanne and Jade was a little clunky, but that's very contrasting styles, so it's hard to kind of make that work. But
Asuka
for what
and
it was,
Alexa Bliss was pretty. That was the most obvious out of all of them to me.
Yeah,
to a certain. Well, besides Cody and Jay, I mean, I get. Yeah. Did we want to see Jay go against Randy Orton? Who would have won that? Maybe Jay and Sami, I guess. But at that point, you got to turn Sami or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll tell you what everybody does want to see though, for one last time, for the undisputed WWE Championship. We have the Second City Saint, the voice of the voiceless, selling his soul to go to Saudi Arabia because John Cena wanted him as uncomfortable as possible. John Cena says, I want everybody at their very best, but then chooses to have CM Punk go uncomfortable in Saudi Arabia to fight him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a juxtaposition there. We had the pipe bomb on this past SmackDown that John Cena dropped on CM Punk, where he was just sitting there and really milked it while Punk had to try to sell the table with the Slim Jim logo on it for multiple minutes. It's a little bit overdone here. Now, this is the thing
just
that
laid there. Yeah,
I saw this, and we're going to get to the match. I just want to hear your opinions on it really quick.
I want to hear yours first.
Now, during the pipe bomb, CM Punk's pipe bomb, he looked at the screen and said, "Hi, Colt Cabana, breaking the fourth wall, whatever." Now, John Cena did this same thing, and he was talking about talents being buried and everything else. And he looked at the camera and he said, "Hi, Matt Cardona, I'm sorry. Hi, Nick Nemeth. Hi, Claudio Castagnoli." Right?
Yes.
Now the not the rumor, but the online there was this whole prediction thing that now if you look at what are the names of the people he named, Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth, what are their first names? Matt and Nick. And Claudio Castagnoli, what's his initials? CC, Colt Cabana. So really it was a tongue-in-cheek way of like getting at the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana by dropping those three names.
Oh, wow. That one went. That one totally went over my head. Lord have mercy.
But also, you got to look at it when Punk was champion. Those three were kind of being buried in the roster in WWE as well. So I mean, you could take it both ways, but why did he say Claudio and not Cesaro? You know what I mean? There was a reason he dropped their actual names. He didn't drop Dolph Ziggler. He didn't drop Zack Ryder. He didn't drop Claudio or Cesaro. He said their names, and I think there was a reason for that. So I saw that rumor, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, I want to know what you thought about the promo in of itself. How did you feel about that? Like top 5? No. Like how did it hit you? Were you shocked? Were you this? Were you that? No, you didn't think it was that great?
Nah. It felt really forced to me.
Okay.
Felt very forced to me. Like if Cena took it and made it his own, but he rinsed and repeated it, almost the same exact thing, the same inflection. Punk going or sitting through the table like Cena had been through the table in the original. Just seemed very, very forced to me. I don't know, Adam. Do I make any sense with this? Am I? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you make a lot of sense. I actually quite like that bit. I like the bit, and I like the fact he was using some of the words from that promo about the uncomfortable thing and stuff like that. I did like that. I totally agree, and I had a lot of arguments online about this with the names that you've mentioned. I heard that same thing, and I said the same thing as well. And you know what the IWC is like. Yeah. One of them was saying that, but Colt Cabana isn't Claudio Castagnoli, and I was trying to explain that it wasn't him saying that. It was They were trying to think that, anyway. But yeah, I agree with that.
For the people that knew, yeah. Was it a big coincidence, a conspiracy, or was he just saying somebody that used to work in the WWE?
No, I feel like Jesse's right, because if he was going to do it from a WWE perspective, he would have called him Cesaro, he would have called him Dolph Ziggler, he would have called him Zack Ryder. So the fact that he called them by the names that they're using now is a little bit, it makes more sense. In terms of promos itself, I thought it was fine. I mean, I know people are calling it an all-timer, maybe an all-timer for John Cena, but I've heard a lot better promos, but it did come across a little forced as well. But all in all, I enjoyed it, and I was laughing for it mainly more than anything else.
I was laughing, but man, I'll tell you the truth. Like once it was over and I shut off the TV, I was like in shock. I was in shock. I was like, holy shit. And we talked about like people like erasing history. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. And it's like, people don't think you can, but you can, especially in these types of ways. And like John Cena said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to ruin wrestling. So what did he do? He went to CM Punk's, one of his best all-time moments that people love, and he just stole it. And he just took it, and he just stomped right over CM Punk. And I felt uncomfortable. I almost felt bad in a way to a certain extent, because I was shocked. I thought it was like, it just like hit me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. That was rough. But Cena loved it. Obviously, Punk was in on it. You know, he had to love it too, to a certain extent. I mean, sometimes when you get a taste, when you get a taste of your own medicine, you gotta respect it. And for somebody to respect somebody's craft, you know, and then put up something like that and then throw it right back at you, I mean, you know, that's the best. That's you know, sharpening swords. Everybody, you know, steel. And so, man, no, that was, I thought it was crazy. I don't know about like all time or all this, but to like erase kind of what CM Punk did and try to like ruin everything of what he did in that aspect. I thought he like hit it right on the head. And the crowd was starting to cheer for it too, because they kind of understood what it was, you know, and to say you were only really the best for 7 minutes, you know, made me feel bad. I could last about 15, 20 minutes. So, you know, I'm best in the world, you know.
I had a good run last night.
Yep. Man, crazy though. I thought it was a good promo. It set the internet on fire. I know as far as views and everything going viral and all that, but I can't wait to see these. We got a SmackDown before Night of Champions. I can't wait to see how Punk is going to follow that up. That's what I really want to see, because that, when I met that shocked me and made me feel uncomfortable. Like, how does Punk respond to that? Mm-hmm. Because it's almost like I was like, oh, Punk's got to win the freaking match now, because John Cena just shit it all over him like Vince McMahon, you know? And so I got to see how Punk responds, because that one hit me. I was like, damn, man, that was some savage shit right there.
In the words of Bobby the Brain Heenan, I got to know who was the third man during the Vince fecal excretion. Anyway, that was the pipe bomb, the not so pipe bomb.
He dropped a little swear word. Thought he was, you know, really.
I felt it felt very forced to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. But
he stole the whole thing. That, you know, and that's the whole point of what he's done this whole time during this run.
But this is what I've said before, Adam, and I know we're gonna get to the match real quick. But now, I don't know what kind of music you like, but just say you like classic rock. You know what I mean? The Rolling Stones or Kiss or you know, bands of that nature. Now, if they're on a farewell tour, their final tour, they're going to retire right after. Do you want to see them play the hits, or do you want to see them play cover songs the whole time? Like, you want to see the hits. You know what I mean? You want to see what made John Cena so good for 20 years, not introduce this whole new character and like, oh, for the last year, it's just going to be a completely different character, but this is the last you're going to see of him. And I understand there's going to be a redemption arc at some point. I'm hoping.
Well, that's what he said he's going to do, though. That's the whole point of it, though, is to give everybody exactly the opposite of what they wanted.
So if Kiss said,
even though it's not, is it better for business? I don't know. The audience is still cheering for it, but
we're going to do a retirement tour, but we're going to play only the songs off Psycho Circus. I would say I'm not going to that show. So.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing this whole the '80s Kiss thing either. No. Yeah, lick it. You can lick it up yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, anything past Dynasty sucked, but
exactly.
Anyway, we're not talking about Kiss. We're talking about the WWE Undisputed Championship. John Cena, CM Punk, one last time, Undisputed Championship on the line. Adam, who is walking away from Saudi Arabia Night of Champions as the champion?
Oh, Cena. This is way too early in the thing for him, and it's going to be a shitty finish. It'll probably be like a nut shot, belt shot, what he's been doing recently. It's going to follow that same mantra. Will someone come out and cost Punk? Maybe, possibly, maybe a Seth Rollins foul, like a pretend cash in or something along those lines. But Cena walks out champion, no doubt about it. Unfortunately.
Okay. I'm not going against CM Punk. Come on. CM Punk's winning that damn title in Saudi Arabia in the most pointless place possible to win it. After dropping pipe bombs and bombs all week, CM Punk drop another pipe bomb going into it on SmackDown and then come out the champion. And if he doesn't, I'm sure R-Truth will get involved some way. Or Seth Rollins will come out and act like he's going to cash in on Cena and laugh and joke and then hit Punk with the briefcase or something. And Cena will walk away so he can go to Cody Rhodes and they can have their storybook ending again.
Yeah, I agree. Ugh. I don't I think that Cena's going to win, but I do agree with you that Ron Killings is going to interfere and cost CM Punk the match.
On purpose or not? Or you think he's going to like completely turn, or he's just going to do it on accident, kind of like Randy?
He's going to. I think he's going to cost him. It seemed too obvious. He's been attacking Cena. I understand that whole thing, but
I was seeing like a DQ kind of thing. So Punk kind of wins, but he doesn't win the title, or vice versa in type of way like that, and he kind of gets screwed out of it.
You know what? I'm not even gonna say Ron Killing's gonna interfere. Damn it! I want the old John Cena. You know what's gonna happen? CM Punk's gonna be up to his tricky tactics and think he's gonna get one over in Saudi Arabia. John Cena's gonna hit those 5 moves of doom that I've been wanting for so long. He's gonna hit the 5 knuckle shuffle. He's gonna hit the attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. We have the old Jorts John Cena back. I love it. Book it, Trips. Yes.
No. Shame on you. Yeah, there's got to be something crazy that happens. I mean, but like I said, with the way that the promo happened and everything, Cena really got over on Punk with that, I feel like. So Punk's got to do something to get back to make it interesting. But the way that it went, I'm like, damn, Punk almost got a win now, the way he got at him. Like, but Punk has shown, even though he's got, 7 moves of doom on the microphone, as John Cena would say, or 5, or you know what I'm saying? So Cena made some great points there in that whole promo thing, to a certain extent, and kind of flipped it on him. But man, Punk got to get his revenge at least some type of way during this match.
They have said though that it's going to be a really good. Cena has said in that Fanatics thing that we're going to have a really awesome bit of rebuttal on SmackDown this week. Saudi Arabia going to get that as well.
Yep. So then I can see if Punk gets that great kind of rebuttal, then Cena can walk out the way it is.
All I know is,
but I'm still going for Punk because that's where my loyalty lies, and I ain't going against him.
All I know is when CM Punk touches down his plane in Saudi Arabia, there will be a car waiting to drive him to the show. He won't have to take public transportation to get to the event.
Yes. Hope your subways are better than New York subways. Because, yeah.
But that was our night of predictions.
Day of Champions.
That was our Night of Champions predictions. And we are looking forward to it. It's going to be a 1 p.m. start time in our time. I believe it'll be like 6 p.m. over where you're at, Adam. So we're all going to get to bed at a decent hour for Night of Champions. Hope it's going to be a great, solid event. Let us know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen. Follow Adam with Hitting the Turnbuckle on YouTube. It's HTTB.
HTT Buckle is the easy way.
At HTT Buckle on X. Thank you very much. On Instagram, it is
Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast.
There we go. Yeah. And keep following along with Adam Cousins. He's got some great stuff, some great interviews. He follows most wrestling promotions and covers them very thoroughly. We are forever grateful for everything he has done for us in the past. Man, oh man. Looking forward to Night of Champions and moving forward to Saturday night's main event.
Hell yeah. Adam, shout out your wrestling promotions that you're messing with. Let them know what you got going on with that real quick.
Just quickly, well, mainly Ignite Wrestling Pro now. That's where you'll see me every 6 weeks or so. We've got a show coming up in July, Breaking Point, where our new Hitting the Turnbuckle champion, Aluna, will be defending her championship against Nightshade. There's going to be the heavyweight championship, Tommy Kyle versus Taylor James. He cashes in his Money in the Bank opportunity. There's also going to be a special show in September, which is the one that Hitting the Turnbuckle will be putting on together with Ignite, which will be Buckle Up Free. We've had 2 sold-out shows before that. This will be the 3rd and final one this year, so news will be on that. And just on touching on the interviews, I've got Wolfgang from Gallus coming up this week, and then next week I'm sitting down with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Tom Latimer as part of our 100th Power Review episode special.
Ooh,
awesome.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Great.
Yeah, killing it. Congratulations, Adam. You've been doing the best interviewing all the important people, all the great wrestlers, and we enjoy watching it, and we know that IWC does, and if they don't, they need to check it out because they don't know what they're missing. We really appreciate everything you've done, man, and we enjoy it. So shout out to you over there in the UK, holding it down, man. Nothing but love. And we can't wait for the day and night of champions for WWE. And those were our predictions, and we can't wait to hear yours. Like you said, let us know in the comments. We can't wait to come back and talk about it. So we see y'all again. And once again, that's Adam from Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast. That's pretty deadly, Jesse. And I'm Andrew Complex Jones. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.